Welcome back to The Core. You are watching us live from Channels Television Studios in Abuja, and we're talking about the forthcoming elections. Now, before the break, we started talking about the role of the security agencies. There's been a few concerns raised about what people call the militarization of the civilian spaces. The PDP, for example, has accused the Nigerian army of launching a new operation because they say they want to interfere with the elections. And I reached out to the Nigerian army to try and get them here. They couldn't come, but they did send me a statement. And to sort of set up this particular portion of the conversation, I'd like to read exactly what the army spokesman, Brigadier General Sani Usman, sent. He said the allegation that the exercise Igwu Ike III is designed to intimidate voters and rig the 2019 elections is not true. The Nigerian army has always been professional, impartial, and apolitical. The exercise is aimed at enhancing troops' training and proficiency, and it is aimed at combating observed criminality and other security challenges in the country, such as stockpiling of arms by criminal groups, formation of ethnic militias, and resurging militancy. The exercise is not targeted at political activities of any party, and the Nigerian army will not interfere in the electoral process of the country. They also pointed out that this exercise is to be conducted across all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, and also then went on to say that we are committed professionals that are impartial and apolitical. Nigerians should not entertain any fear or doubt about the conduct of the exercise. It is targeting criminals, militants, armed robbers, and kidnapping kingpins and their criminality rather than innocent, law-abiding people. So they're very clear about the reason why they are in these spaces. Are we generally satisfied with the way the security apparatus is being deployed for these elections? And here I'm not talking just the army, I'm talking about obviously police, because they do have a role to play in keeping the peace, etc.
I think it's public knowledge that one of the greatest threats to the 2019 elections is our security agencies. I don't expect that the security agencies will come and publicly say that they are upholding or they are not upholding the tenets of patriotism and accountability in the management of election security operations. It is public knowledge the role that the security agencies play, particularly the police, in the previous elections that have been conducted. And it's been part of our electoral process, where even when the Electoral Commission is prepared to deploy personnel and materials to the field, security agencies, particularly the police, don't provide them with security. It happened in Ekiti. In fact, in Osun, when we even observed Osun and the role the military actually played, we have it on record in 2 local governments, in Emure local government, where thugs came to the polling station with military protection to disrupt the conduct of elections.
Okay,
so it's apparent.
No, hang on. Here is, I think, perhaps part of the confusion for people like myself who sort of try to be independent. On the one hand, we're saying we don't want security presence on our streets because it can be intimidating. I've heard people talk about militarizing the security space. On the other hand, we're saying we need their presence to conduct elections. It's a little bit conflicted, isn't it?
No, I don't think it's a conflict, because if you look at the nature of politics, and that's why what you're seeing is a manifestation of a fundamental problem with our politics, and our politics needs fixing. When we come to politics with a do-or-die mentality, and people want power at all costs, you can see all the shenanigans of the political parties.
Okay.
And so that's something we must address. But more importantly, is even if security agencies are providing or managing election security operations, there are fundamental principles that they must uphold. They must be fair. They must be democratic in their management of election security. They must also be accountable and be very, very transparent. Again, just look at what's happening even with the conduct of police. Ask INEC today whether they have the maximum cooperation from the security agencies to manage our elections.
I will ask them, but before I do, I'd like to open it up to the public. So we'll start with the gentleman right at the back there, please. Yes? He has a green tie. And then we'll take maybe at least 3 before we come back to the panel. Right at the back. Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Agumagu Collins. I'm the president of the Young Youth Network for Good Leadership in Nigeria. With me here is Dr. Joshua and his wife, Barrister Chibroma. My contribution towards the security issue, towards the conduct of 2019 election is that Nigerians are solidly behind the Nigerian Security Agency towards the conduct of the 2019 general election. Because I'm from Rivers State. Looking at what happened during the 2015 election in Rivers State, some persons were not security agents. They were putting on security agency uniform. Some of them were with army uniform in the polling unit, threatening voters. They will come and hijack. Voters, ballot boxes and others. So Nigerian youth are solidly behind the conduct of Nigerian security towards the 2019 general election.
Okay, thank you, sir. The gentleman in black here and then the young lady in front in blue. Let's just pass the mic on, please. Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pt.4, and I'm a legal practitioner. So I'm going to be coming at this from a legal perspective. We've had a lot of political parties flouting Electoral Act, particularly Section 91 sub 6, or 91 sub 9 of the Electoral Act, which talks about individual financing of elections. And of recent, you see some people donating cars and various amounts into, into the elections and into the campaigns. You also see the issue of media bias in certain areas. So you have these things coming up, and INEC isn't really doing or saying much about it. Everyone seems to be so focused on how we're going to ensure that the election is won or whatever the case is. That's one. And then the second thing is the issue of transmission of election results. I don't know, it's just something that came up. I need clarity on that. There seems to be doubt on that. So the transmission of election results.
Yes, the lady, yes.
Hello, my name is Fakhriya Hashim. So mine is a question. So regarding the primary elections, I would like to ask if the primary elections of the political parties are an indictment of what we can expect in the 2019 elections, where we saw coercion of votes in the Lagos State primary elections, and also the involvement of police, which they seem to appear quite partisan, and it would be hard for anyone to say otherwise by proof of their recent activities.
Okay, thank you. One last comment, and then we'll come back. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Ezenwa. Ezenwa Partners for Electoral Reform. I just want to direct to my friend Peter Ame. We need to detonate the specter of doubt, fear that the politicians are casting on our electoral process.
And you think it's deliberate?
It's deliberate. And the reason for that is that our electoral process is improving. We're making incremental progress. And the politicians, working with people internally too within INEC, continues to give the impression that no progress is being made. Things are the way they are. We will manipulate for you.
Why?
That's the point, and that's the point. Because if you have followed the elections that has happened, you will see that process-wise, we have been able to push back the politicians. But what this whole buying process is a collusion between certain elements within INEC and the politicians who give the impression that. So I need that to be clear. Then what I want Barrister Festus Okoye to also deal with is the issue of community collusion in ensuring that the electoral process is undermined. What do I mean by that? Politically exposed persons within communities working with INEC officials also undermine these processes to produce an outcome. We need to deal with those issues.
Okay.